Thank you, Jane. Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Councillor Dave Ashmore, Cabinet Member for Community Safety and the Environment. Just to make sure everyone's aware, we're assured that we've put appropriate cleansing and social distancing measures in place to ensure this meeting is undertaken in a COVID-secure manner. This has included a request for all attendees to have taken an LFD test within 48 hours of the meeting, the use of NHS Track and Trace app or attendee log, 2 metre social distancing, the wearing of masks when not seated, and a one-way system in the Guildhall. I don't think there's any members of the public in here, but limited public seating was made available and it's being webcast to allow the public to attend remotely if they so wish. Can I ask officers to remain seated throughout the duration of the meeting and to wear a face covering unless seated, and only use the seats marked with a green circle, which you are doing. Just some housekeeping. If the continuous fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the room, public gallery by the stairwell. Do not attempt to use the lift and assemble not at Queen Victoria because the ice rink's there, but assemble at the turning circle at the end of King Henry Street past the University's Park building. Everyone speaking via microphone will be on camera, and there's no members of the press or public, so I don't need to worry about that bit. Can everyone use microphones and remember to switch them off when they've finished? Everyone being us three. So yeah, that concludes that bit. There was originally supposed to be 2 items on the agenda today, wasn't there, or subsequent to that? I think, first of all, I've got to ask if there's been any apologies, Jane.
Yes, Chair. You've had apologies from Councillors New and Mellor. Okay.
And I think the next one would be the declaration of interest, which I don't think I've got any. So yeah, as I said, there was 2 items on here originally. One item can't be heard today because we haven't got the relevant background information. So that'll have to come back to us, that one being the public space protection order item, which will be coming back in a couple of weeks. Which just leaves the joint municipal waste management strategy report, I believe going to be introduced by yourself, Dave.
Thank you, Chair. I'm David Emmett, Head of Waste Collection and Disposal at the City Council. The purpose of the report I'm bringing you today is to seek approval for the joint municipal waste management strategy, and this sets out the direction for the Project Integra partnership. The strategy sets out the key principles for how the waste management system in Portsmouth, Southampton and Hampshire will respond and meet the forthcoming Environment Act 2021, and this was enacted a couple of weeks ago, and we still await the secondary legislation, so the regulations of how some of the detail will be implemented. The recommendations are that the Cabinet Member for Community Safety and the Environment approves the Project Integra Joint Municipal Waste Management Strategy and gives delegated authority to the Director of Housing, Neighbourhoods and Building Services in consultation with the Cabinet Member for Community Safety and the Environment to make minor amendments to the Joint Municipal Waste Management Strategy ahead of its final publication by the Project Integra Partnership and at subsequent 3-year reviews. Just to give you some background on the report, the Council is a member of Project Integra, and that's a Hampshire-wide waste partnership comprising of all 11 waste collection authorities, both the unitary authorities, Portsmouth City Council and Southampton City Council, who are waste collection and disposal authorities, and Hampshire County Council, who is the waste disposal authority. Portsmouth is also a joint signatory of the waste disposal contract with Portsmouth City, Southampton City Council and Hampshire County Council. The partnership arose originally in the 90s as a result of the need to have a coordinated response to waste and recycling collections, processing infrastructure across Portsmouth, Southampton and Hampshire. It is a waste, Project Integra is a waste partnership rather than a joint waste authority, and the GMWAMs were last refreshed in 2012 and lasted from a period for 2013 up to 2023. Whilst some progress has been made by Project Integra through delivery of the strategy, particularly the landfill diversion rates, Portsmouth, Southampton and Hampshire have extremely low landfill diversion rates of approximately 4.2%. The overall performance, particularly in terms of recycling, has stagnated in the last few years, and this, combined with the release of the government's waste and resources strategy and the scale of change this is expected to have on the waste industry, means a review of the GMWAMs was necessary. The resource and waste strategy will be implemented via the Environment, or has been implemented via the Environment Act, which became law in late 2021, and the first implementation dates of those legislative changes are expected to be in approximately late 2023. The Joint Municipal Waste Management Strategy sets out a vision for Hampshire's waste management, and we've neatly summed that up in a statement, which is: the Project Integra partners will work together to deliver high-performing, forward-looking recycling and waste management services which provide value for money for Hampshire taxpayers, meeting local needs and recognising the climate emergency and the need for a reduction in carbon emissions. The key legislative and policy drivers are identified in the strategy, and there's the sort of key three ones for waste are the sort of three key policies that the bill will introduce, and they are the consistency of household and business recycling collections in England, and that includes the mandating of food waste collections, extended producer responsibility tax for packaging, and an introduction of a deposit return scheme. The strategy sets out 5 key objectives for all the Hampshire authorities, with some further points below these, and the key objectives are partnership working, recyclable material management, and that includes the introduction of a twin stream recycling collection, waste reduction, best practice and service delivery. Local decision making will continue to be maintained across the partnership, and that's to ensure local factors such as budgets and challenges are considered with any decision making, to ensure the approach is best suited for all partners. And although the GMWAM set out the strategy for all Hampshire authorities in terms of the key objectives, and particularly twin stream recycling, Portsmouth and any other authority can act independently of the GMWAMs to continue to promote or pursue actions which will benefit the city. So, for example, in Portsmouth, that can be our small WE collection, which is our waste electrical and electronic equipment collections, the introduction of food waste collections, and the introduction of carton banks across the city. So the reasons for the recommendations are: the GMWAMs is an important tool which allows the partnership to move forward together, and it also confirms that PCC's preferred option of twin stream recycling, which we set out in the Cabinet report from July 2021, the future of waste collection services, aligns with the direction of travel across the PI partnering authorities. That's everything, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Very well presented and very good report there. I mean, we've been sat together in a few of these Project Integra meetings, haven't we, and seen the direction of travel. And I think they're all important objectives there, and it's good to see that they're looking at, as well, at the reduction in carbon emissions, because that ties in, obviously, with us all trying to get to that net carbon zero target. And the other thing that a lot of people have said is the consistency of the recycling collections. A lot of people are saying, in one area you can recycle certain things, in another area not, or you can recycle different elsewhere. So seeing that kind of trying to work together to get something that is aligned across the local area, I think is an improvement. The extended producer responsibility for packaging, that's one I think a lot of people will be pleased to see, because of course we have places in the city that are looking to go package free, like package free larder, for example. It's been a big thing, isn't it, with packaging, and the amount of plastics that people get when they go to the shops and buy something, or they get items. So yeah, seeing that extended producer responsibility would load that burden onto the people making it like that, which of course could be an incentive for them to reduce the amount of packaging they use in the first place. So yeah, as you say, there was a paper before Cabinet before about the twin stream and about how we can try and improve the recycling collections and collections in general, which is all good to have. So yeah, all good points, and yeah, I think this is exactly what we need to be doing to go forward, and keep improving the services while looking at how we can reduce wastage, improve recycling, and go forward. Especially because we've been waiting for that the Environment Act now, isn't it? But the Environment Bill, we're waiting for ages on that, with things like a deposit return scheme, which can hopefully reduce glass and plastic bottles, isn't it? Yeah, which has worked in quite a few countries, isn't it? I think it was Norway. It was something like well over 90% were recycled. So that's a really good thing to have on there. So yeah, for all those reasons, and yeah, for all the reasons you've presented there and that we've worked out together there, I'm happy to accept the recommendations on that. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay, and unless I've misjudged, I think that's the end of the meeting, isn't it?